You're now sitting at the Wavetable.
Welcome everyone to the Wavetable episode 30. This episode is actually a special one because it's a group chat episode, and also we have a track breakdown from special friend, special guest DREER, the Swamp Lord himself.
Yeah. It's I get all these different like monikers, which is like swamp and then like adjective.
Yeah, just insert
like
the word
swamp and then like noun. Yeah, buddy. But yeah, no, I'm keen to fucking be here.
Swamp motherfucker. Swamp
yeah.
bitch.
Swamp bitch. I'll make that my Twitter handle for a week. If like this video like hits a certain like viewer milestone.
And back from Second Impact.
What?
Oh my god, this is like gonna be so off the cuff, like as a video.
Yeah. I wanted to like get a little loose with the Wavetable, like a bit less formatted. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes.
Cool.
So in addition to DREER, we also have special guest Joe Biden, whom I must congratulate.
I must congratulate.
Thank you, Astroreign.
Thanks, Jack.
Okay, so Joe Biden, do you want to tell us what your actual name is, or do you want to stick with Joe Biden?
This isn't a bit, by the way. This is just like I think ever since I've seen you like around on servers, you've just been Joe Biden. So I've just assumed.
Yeah, I've been like this since at least September or October.
Okay, so Joe Biden it is. And then also we have Advac, who just joined. I don't think I've spoken to you before, at least not over voice. So do you want to introduce...
He's Donald Trump now.
He is femboy dubstep.
Dude, what's it like not being on Twitter?
What's up, guys? I'm Virtual Riot.
Nice to meet you, VR.
Advac, aka Donald Trump, aka Virtual Riot.
Oh, okay.
People call me Virtual Riot because I'm from Germany and I had pink dyed hair, so I'm gonna stick with
Oh, I see.
That makes sense.
Official Virtual Riot in the VC, guys.
What do you want me to say for my introduction?
I just wanted to know a bit about like where you're from, but you said Germany. And yeah, like what kind of music do you make?
Classic music.
Virtual
I'm
Riot.
Beethoven. So
Do a 2-5-1 chord progression, you bitch.
what's that? So normally I make like dubstep.
Hell yeah.
Many different dubsteps. Normally I should be doing my maths homework for uni right now, because if I don't hand it in tomorrow, I'm failing.
Oh god.
Why I want to join?
I mean, this will be up on YouTube, so you're fine if you just want to see the track breakdown.
No,
I'm good. I'm here.
Okay. And yeah, as always, I'm your host, Astroreign, and I'm from Australia, and I mostly make dubstep, sometimes mid-tempo, and then sometimes random shit.
Dude,
You're
actually,
making
I have a thing, like ever since I did that Wavetable podcast with you, as soon as I said like the genres that I made, so like future garage and grime and shit like that, I've proceeded to not make half of those genres, or at least not put them out. So I feel but like a lot of the time it's just been like trap and dubstep.
Yeah, I feel that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I used to say like a lot of the genres that I was working on, but then like, you know, most of the stuff that I end up being happy with and releasing is dubstep and mid-tempo. So now I've just started saying that.
That's amazing, because like Dre said that we're also doing like small feedback session today.
Yeah.
And I actually made my first mid-tempo track 2 days ago. And I didn't know you were into mid-tempo, so that's amazing.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited to hear it. Hope you've got like some nice high glitches and shit in there.
Whoa!
Jesus, dude.
That was fucked.
My mic. Okay.
Holy fuck.
have Virtual Riot the recall walkthrough based design.
I'm glad this isn't live.
Yeah. All right. So, do we want to like jump into this track?
Yeah,
now?
boy. All right, let me just switch.
Alright.
There we go.
Cool. All right. So, little backstory in this thing. I basically this started off as like a deep dubstep tune, and it sort of has evolved into like this sort of trappy dubstep tune. It was made in the first week of January, and as of like this recording, it's the third week of January. So it's taken me like obviously like 2.5-ish weeks to make it. It has a couple different sections in it, obviously. So like, whoa. Okay, sorry. I need to like learn to be less trigger happy, but yeah, it's got a few different drops in it. I'll go through like the sound design of these sections, and we'll just see like what happens from there. So, all right, I'm going to mute up,
Cool.
and then I'll let you guys just experience this.
Fuck
Definition of
me.
PogChamp.
Whoa, dude, hold on. You just got banned. Oh my lord. Wow. You can't say PogChamp anymore, dude.
No,
Darn.
PogChamp illegal. So, yes, this is that's the track. It's got a couple more mixed down things to go, but that's pretty well what it's going to sound like by the time it's done. And then once it's done with mastering and whatnot. So, yeah, thoughts and feelings. Anyone?
I fucking love it.
Excellent.
Are you looking for any feedback just first, like right off the bat?
If you'd like, I'm happy to cop some feedback.
The only thing for me was there was like some wiggly high synths, and I just felt like those were kind of a bit out of place for your aesthetic.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I also had a question based off that. Like, was there any like thought process behind bringing something kind of different to this tune?
So I'm guessing you mean those wonky like basses in that like second drop after that little mini build up.
Yeah, I think so.
That was, I guess, I just wanted to do something wacky and wild. I guess I just wanted to like try. I guess like sessions like this very much just like I want to see where my sound design goes and not worry too much about the arrangement, I guess. And so this was one of those like fun sound designy things. And I guess the direction I wanted to go with it was just to have fun, I suppose. But like, I don't know. I was listening to like, I guess some like weird like hybrid trap stuff, I guess, while I was making it as well. So that plays a part in it. It's
so was
an
it
amalgamation of a lot of things.
Was it kind of just a matter of like activating smooth brain mode and seeing what comes out?
A little bit.
Sweet, I respect that.
Yeah, I think that will actually lead into sort of like designing the basses, like in general. So there is some very unorthodox ways of like how I did this. So I know for a fact that to get the main synth here, in this red here, it started off as a patch in Massive, which is usually how a lot of sounds I make start off in. And when I'm designing sounds and I want to mangle it to the uttermost I possibly can, I know for a fact that I work in MIDI very, very quickly and then I freeze flatten it so that I can mangle it some more. So if we look here...
Jesus Christ.
We've got some shit.
What?
Even 32-bit float be like, fuck you.
DC offset doesn't discriminate. So it's meant to look like this. But I thought, no, fuck that. 20 dB. And then I guess from there it was me experimenting with just soft and hard clipping in different ways and then cutting holes in it and then soft and hard clipping it again. So this is the top, right? Without all the processing, it's actually just this. So like the sound's already kind of there, right? It's just a matter of sort of sculpting out like specifically in that sound what you want. So actually I might zero all that again and go through everything. So I got a phaser with one pole, which is basically a bandpass, just to sculpt it. There's this plugin by Ven Audio called Free Clip, which is probably the best soft clipper I've ever used. I don't know if you can actually like see that on the display.
Yeah, it's all we
like
can see.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. So now you can see Ableton again, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, Free Clip is great. It has all these different clipping modes. It's very transparent. You go like from hard all the way to these arctangent.
Is it free?
It is absolutely 100% free.
Imagine if it was called Free Clip, but then it was like 30 bucks.
I was going to say, like, buddy, it's called Free Clip.
Yeah, so like obviously you got your clip ceilings here. You can oversample it all the way to 32 times if you got a fucking insane computer. And then like you've got your post oversampling clipping, so you can actually like make it like limit and whatnot. It's very good. It's very useful. It's endorsed from like dudes like Booker's Finest and stuff. So I put that in there.
Fuck yeah.
Just because it was like distorting, basically. crystallizer, which is a granular delay unit from Sound Toys.
Sounds yeah.
Yep. And that adds, so I believe, what have I done here? I've just like given it like an extra like bit of high-end granular nonsense. So it's got like a little tiny slapback kind of thing on it. I don't know if you can hear it in like the sides.
Can you A/B it real quick?
It's so subtle.
Very subtle, but it's there.
You probably wouldn't even need it. This just to cut out the lows.
I love how cutting out the lows actually makes things sound fuller.
Yeah, absolutely. It's because like, so like, okay, this is when I keep the lows, right? That's bullshit. That right there is the bullshit frequencies. So you want that gone. OTT. The way I use OTT is I always turn the time up to 1,000% because when you have it at 100, it's a bit loose and you still get those like artifacts that it's bringing up. So you just smack that and then it makes it work over time basically. And then also another thing too is if you want your OTT just to like make stuff a bit more fuller but not bring out disgusting artifacts, what you do is you just do that, like that, and then it's super transparent. I almost prefer that actually. But it works to like bring out that slapback delay kind of thing. This is a transient shaper called Orbit. I will just pull it up like that. It's super easy. Like I think I got it for free from like Plugin Boutique or something. But it's nice. It works. Like it has its place with like transient shaping if you want like really quick sort of shaping that isn't multiband. So here's it with.
Wow.
More juice. Delay with a quick tonal delay. That's pretty straightforward. Pro Q3, I think this is just more cleanup. Yeah, it's just literally scooping out the lows. Because that's really boomy and it would that would be taking up like spaces that other things need. This is a very short reverb.
Okay, you know what it sounds like?
Mm-hmm. Go on.
It sounds like someone slurping on noodles, and the noodles are very chunky.
Chunky noodles.
That's what it sounds like.
The chunky ramen.
Chunky ramen.
Yep, the ramen break.
Fuck.
So what this reverb is doing is literally adding stereo width. That's all it's doing. Because obviously I've got this absolutely slammed and it's like adding some width to the mids because it's quite a mono signal. Now this is where it gets a bit more fun. This is Ozone 9's Spectral Shaper, which is basically a de-esser on steroids. So within this band is a frequency that I don't like. And what it does is when you lower the threshold to actually affect it, it sort of like compresses it and softens the signal. So that's it with. I'll bypass it now. It just makes it a bit flatter. That's basically all it's doing. And then you can obviously adjust like the attack and release ratios of it and stuff. That's a really handy tool.
I might have to give that a shot because it seems to be kind of doing a similar thing to what I do with Soothe, but Soothe kind of takes a bit of tweaking sometimes, and often it can make a sound feel just dead.
I have like a little version of Ozone 9 Elements. It's pretty good.
Yeah. What do we got? Saturator with a Seinfeld mode on, and then one of my main techniques is literally Ableton's default saturator, and you use this bad boy because this bad boy is taking a band and distorting that band in a particular way with a particular amount of depth. So if I move this through, it's not doing much actually. So if I'm going to just like make this really extreme. You get that really like almost like a wooden kind of texture to it. But basically, I just used it in this case to. I think it's also distorting the absolute fuck out of itself right now. So literally, it's just to like soft clip it and then give it some extra little something to it.
I noticed you've also got it on Sinoid fold mode, which is one of my favorites. I fucking love that.
That's the Wook bass like mode basically. We got Fab Filter Saturn 2, which is one of my favorite multiband saturators, and I think I'm using it just to crunch the highs up and then diffuse them a bit. Because that's a technique that Fox Stevenson has talked about, where if there's a signal that has too much high end, you literally grab a Fab Filter Saturn, smack it on your high end, and then turn the drive up on like a warm tape or something, and that adds noise which diffuses it in a nice way. This is a reverb. When I do reverbs, I know people do bussing and stuff like that, but I'm kind of a crazy person and I like to do like these mini buses inside of each channel strip sometimes. And so you can just like, so this is the chain with like reverb all the way up, and then this is the dry signal. And so what you're doing is you're putting a reverb on it and you're not losing any of your signal, because if you just had a reverb on there, you're actually losing volume and you have to compensate for it and whatnot. And also you can't really EQ it outside of this little thing here. So just a small reverb. This is the reverb here. And then you just obviously like mix it to your liking. Pretty like straightforward. This is another transient shaper called Imprint. I quite like it. It's really fun. It's a little multi-band one. It looks like all I'm doing is just adding more attack to the highs. Like I'm making the highs a bit sharper again. So you're kind of noticing with this sound, all I'm doing is like poking the highs out, flattening them down, and then poking them out again in more minute ways, I suppose. Because this is meant to be like really wet and slappy and such. So, yep, there's Imprint, another Pro Q, which I'm guessing is just, it's just doing some more cleanup.
Ooh,
and
got
like
some dynamic
EQ. This is like working as like a filter when I need to fade it out or whatever, like transition it out. Another reverb that if I pull this up, the automation, it's doing the eliminate. Oh no, it's not. It's literally just I thought it was gonna do like the eliminate like reverb trick. But it's actually like when it kicks into here, it's just fading in the signal again or fading it out again.
What is the eliminate reverb trick, out of curiosity?
So like if you were to like, okay, so let's say, you just make like a really loud reverb, or not loud, but long reverb. So like if I did this, so what if I wanted it to go like this, right? You would do boom, bang, like that. And then like that.
Yeah.
Let's just make this a bit more extreme like that. And then just, which is like,
okay.
Which is already like a cool flow idea. So there's that, but in this case, I think I'm just using it to fade in this. Pitch hack, which is at the very end of the song, like just to like, I don't know, for cool swag like exits, I guess.
Is that just like a tape stop kind of?
Yeah, it's a tape stop thing, like a Max for Live tape stop, basically. So that's that. Now this is where it gets really smooth brain. Down here is a vital patch. Let's listen to it. Now, it doesn't sound like it's really doing much, but that's because in this group that I've grouped them in, I've absolutely slammed the ever-loving shit out of it with a another free clip, which is pushing 17 dB of input. So you put them together, it crunches them all together and like squashes them into like this nice crunchy signal. Think of like how in drum and bass, when they get like that neuro-y, like fuzzy sound, they literally get a sine wave and noise and then distort it. It's sort of like that concept. And then I think this is literally clean up and delay and all that. There's an imager here, like to make the signal a bit wider, I guess. An exciter here is actually kind of cool because I literally chucked on a triode. An exciter is like, think Saturn, like it does a similar thing to like Fab Filter Saturn. Gives it crunchy top end. And so that's like that main bass, essentially. There's some like extra stuff here, which is a pad that fills the space a bit. We got another little noise here to add more crunch.
Baby crunch.
Yeah. I'm stealing
Baby
that.
crunch. You're stealing that. We got another thing here, which is doing another triplet flow. It's almost like the transient of it, I guess. So it's got
Jesus.
some pretty gnarly EQ on it. Yeah, look, when you make
Now that's
noises
my
like
type of
this-
EQ.
Yeah,
Fucking love
Exactly.
that.
yeah. No, you gotta do some pretty wacky shit to get wacky sounds. That's pretty much that main bass. Essentially. So like all together now, it sounds like. So yeah,
Fuck.
the sub. If anyone wants to know what my sub is, it's literally a serum with some like it's literally both oscillators and a triangle in the sub, and that's it. Fucking G clip, which I don't know why I use G clip because sometimes it's really easy to get gross artifacts from G clip. That's
Yeah.
why I like free clip more because there's a bit more. One, you can oversample it more, and two, you can like adjust the parameters a bit more, you know, flexibly. I don't know. Utility, and then soft clipping it, and then I think that's just low passing it again. For extra, I guess, crunch. I'll go into the one shots now.
Cool.
Since the one shots are like the cool bells and whistles. So we got this. I'll also just solo it. So we got this, which is just like these like weird, like glitchy telemetry noises. Cool thing to note here, it's on beats mode, but I put it on 30 seconds, so then there's a rhythm to it. Because if I just had it on transients, it's not much different, but this conforms it a bit more, and then I can adjust it like this if I so want to. We've got more deep fried waveforms. At for some reason 34 semitones high. It just sounded good there. I don't know what to say. Yeah, oh, okay, I think I know what it was. It was like this, you know that AU5 video where he talked about using like a CV to get like serum envelopes into like any other synths?
A CV.
Yeah, so like there's this like tool. So like if I do like CV and then like CV is like a modular sort of thing. I don't want to like talk about it because I don't know what the frick I'm talking about. But basically the idea is you would go into, let it load because it's got to load a lot of shit. You go into here, right? In this little rack here, so there's this little CV in thing, and it's taking basically a signal from this serum envelope. And what you would do is you would put like, I want another instrument, and then you would put like another instrument in, and then you would like map it to whatever instrument, and then like you adjust like how much that envelope is like going up and down in it. And basically the short and long of it is you would like be able to use serum envelopes on literally any synth or any noise or any effect.
What the fuck?
Yeah, go to A5.
Yo, that's crazy.
YouTube. Yeah, it's mind-boggling. But I guess what I did here was I made a thing really quickly, probably in Massive again, or maybe just in Serum, and froze it again, and then just like pitched it around, and got basically like a dirty aux chord. There you go. And then apparently it just sounded good up here. Note again, transient mode. I'm making it like that and just making it tighter. And then there's obviously this little riff here from Mr. Bill. And another like grainy thing. I basically went for this like, you know, that like sort of like that really glitchy trap vibe that people go for these days. I tried that basically in my own sort of way.
That's cool.
Yeah, moving on to this B section. I'm trying to like get through this as swiftly as possible. And I'm trying not to bog myself down too much. moving swiftly on. Same thing, slightly different processing, I think. No, not really. there is some extra spice in here. I'm sorry, this is a bit of a mess of a project. Or maybe not. No, I definitely think there is. Let's have a look. Yeah, not here. Here. Which is this little bad boy here. Which is basically a massive patch with just some distortion on it. But if you, like, say, moved this, so it's got, like, all 3 oscillators firing off. Probably not sounding like much, but if I was to...
DREER sample pack when?
Please.
Please.
2025.
25. Let's see, what's
I have to
going
wait
on
4
here?
years, bulk.
Yeah, true. I think the main player here would probably be the phase modulation. So let's... Oh, yeah, that's right in, because I had some issue. It's gonna...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phase modulation is quite fun, and it, like, makes for those really, like, warbly, stretched basses, I suppose, as well. So there's that.
Are you allowed to
literally,
show us what Akuma Matata is?
yeah, Akuma Matata is just Akuma's, like, this...
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, it's just a multi-band preset that she made and then sent to us. Yeah. There's not much else going on otherwise. Look, there's the Seinfeld again with a bit more dramatic settings and all that. But basically it's literally just add some extra layer, mess with, like, the flow a bit on the main synth. That little, like, donk noise is up over... Ooh, I really should have organized this project a bit more before doing this, but also
That's all good.
I was a bit excited. Yeah, these wood croaks here. You thought it was a snare, but it's really just this little, like, creaky noise, which is, like, distorting the ever-loving crap out of it as well.
Frog
you got a
snare.
Frog snare. It's
Frog
boosted
snare.
25 dB. I don't really know what to say. I, like, you know, EQ'd it, vocoder for cleaning up the noise of it. Reduce ambience for whatever reason. I guess, like, it tightens the signal up a bit more. A tonal delay, another OTT, with that same, like, setting that I was just telling you guys before, where you just, like, do 1-to-1 on below, so then you don't bring up any unwanted noises.
Just side note, I love how the modes in OTT spell out TBA. Anyway, continue.
TBA. Blues amp, just for, like, extra saturation and excitement. Fab filter, saturation and excitement. Pro MB, probably to clean up the fundament, like those, yeah, so it doesn't poke too hard. And a reverb. And that's pretty much that noise, essentially. And it's pitched down 48 semitones and has no warping on it. For
How the
reason.
fuck does it sound so high?
Saturation, that's pretty well
Yeah,
the
true.
name of the game.
True.
Yeah, that's pretty well the name of the game. So all together now. And even the snare in itself is, like, its own little adventure. So, like, these are all layers for the snare. All of these are just different, like, noises for the snare, and then the snare itself is also this many layers.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that's a thing in its own right, but we'll just stick to bass sound design so we don't go on, like, a huge tangent. So yeah, moving on, we'll go into, like, this really wanky section as well. All right, so let's just, like, take this sort of 4 bars at a time, I suppose.
4 bars.
I really just wanted to have fun, I guess. So I made this, like, wonky flute noise in massive again. I'm pretty sure it's massive. Yep. So, which is kind of, it's very ATLians, I guess. If we open it up, it's, yeah, just like phase modulation with, like, that's doing all the magic again. So See? I just liked it there, so that's that. We did like a bit of frequency shifting just to like shift it into key. OTT again, an EQ8, another OTT, again with like those. I made the sub a bit more transparent, I suppose. Crystallizer yet again, just for some cool third, like a little third on top of it. Serum FX, which has just extra voicing and a flanger on it for really minor things. We got another reverb doing its own thing. Like really, I could have just copied the reverb from the other one, but I wanted it in a smaller room, I suppose. So that would be the reasoning for that. A really, really
holy shit,
a really, really spiky little thing to pull out a really particular valley tone from it.
I would get so frustrated doing that EQ with Ableton's EQ. I'd just be like, delete this shit, pull out Pro Q3. Like,
yeah, pretty much. Sometimes I do Pro Q3 Ableton.
I will never understand the DREER EQs. Holy shit.
I don't understand them either. We've got two delays here, both at two different times, but one is ping pong, and that's the only difference. And so, like, it's got this slapbacky effect that is very wide. So then if I get rid of these, it doesn't sound as big. So then it's very subtle again. What do we got here? Another reverb. Just, I don't know. I don't know why I put so many reverbs on it, but it's working. Ozone Exciter again for similar reasons as the last Exciter, but instead you're actually doing stuff with the other bands. So in the mids here, I like added a bit more retro, which gives it a bit more sparkle. We've got this analog one to tame it, and then retro again to give it more sparkle. Because the only like issue with this noise was that it didn't have much low mid content, so I tried sort of remedying that. And then we put it through a soft clipper again, just to like make it, you know, nice and loud and strong. Now, the cool thing too is it's got these like water textures underneath it, which I'll probably like in the mix down, bring them out again.
Give.
So it adds this like cool like movement inside the synth. It's very subtle, but it does the job. I've also just glue compressed them together. And from the looks of it, with this, I've just put a vocoder on it to make it extra wet, because when you turn this depth knob up, it makes it just extra like, you know. OTT, just for the sake of OTT, and then again with the B, the below, making sure that like no unwanted stuff is getting through. EQ the crap out of it, put a Haas delay on it, and just give it some rhythm with an auto pan without any phase. Instead of just like, that could be cool, but it probably would add too much.
It's a bit too messy.
It would add too much to the mix that was unnecessary. So, and then a compressor just to try, pad it down a bit. I might even turn that up a bit more. So there's that. And then we move on to this section here, which is so we've got those wood creaks coming back over here, but they're playing a bit more of a active part in the rhythm. But then I also made like a wood creaky noise here as well. So like, I'm guessing this is the synthesized version of that.
Fucking hell.
It's super hyper uber duper compressed from the sounds of it. Which honestly, it looks like it. So I've just put some phases in there to sculpt out the noise again. An OGT, like compression, an amp. With like, notice also that sometimes you don't need everything to be on 100% dry wet.
You do.
Yeah. Okay, well maybe
wet
we do.
And on the balls.
Yeah. We've got more like stuff going on here. EQ8 to clean it up, reverb for more width, a saturator for more loudness. I'm guessing, yeah, look, again, that trick of like just like very subtly sculpting out the noise like I want it. Multi-band, probably to pat it down again, another exciter and another spectral shaper to get that really harsh 2 to 8 kilohertz out. And then, yeah, couple it with this, which acts as its transient. Makes that. And then we got this really ghetto sounding 808 boomy, which I'm pretty sure was just like a... oh, no, it's just an init preset. Okay, I thought it was like just a thing I found while I was mucking around in it, but... Yeah, just a really like throw caution to the wind sub 808 thing that I've scooped the sub bass out of and then layered it underneath my sub. So, and then it looks like I've got more water textures here as well. Yep. So yeah, all together now. One cool thing about this one shot too down here is I think I figured out sort of, everyone knows Halo, like the Halo series video games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the Flood?
Yeah.
I think I might have figured out like sort of how to make their noises, I think.
Oh,
So,
holy shit.
not that one. Maybe it was this one. It wasn't this one, but that's also got some crazy stuff going on. Let's see if I can find it. It's literally like, yeah, it's called Flood Noises. What I did was, I'm pretty sure if I just take all of this processing off, it's just noise, right? Like it's just gross, like noise or whatever. But I think the trick to making flood noises in Halo is by putting noise through a vocoder and then automating the formants in it. Because that sounds a lot
Holy
like
shit.
the flood from Halo.
Yeah.
And so if I like play around with this like this,
Wow.
like that's just the flood from Halo, dude.
Is it
What was that?
is it like an enemy or
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like these
It's
like fungal space zombies, basically.
I've never got into playing Microsoft exclusives.
Oh damn. Well, it's on PC now.
Swamp Alien.
Master Chief Collection on PC.
Sick.
So yeah, there's that. And then like obviously like just back to the wonky flute. Which appears to, like, that's actually with the frequency shifter off, so I've obviously pitched it down here, and then it's pitched back up to where it normally was. I also just want to, like, really, like, drive home how this Foley is really, like, creating movement in it, so I'm going to, like, loop this and then just, like, show you with and without. So this is with the Foley. And then this is it without. It sounds so much more static in like how it moves. It might even like when I get to mixing it down some more, I might even just like really accentuate the high end a bit more in it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the first two drops done. The last drop isn't too much different. I'll also go into like the intro and breakdown, like Future Garage section as well, because that's got some cool stuff going on.
Cool.
But with this last drop, I think the only difference I really made to it, because I didn't want to like mess with the flow too much. The flow was really hard to like change in a cohesive way in the mix. Like everything's always got like this, you know, dugga-duck, 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 dugga-duck kind of rhythm to it. And so I wanted to keep that going a bit more, but in a newer sort of way. So what I've done is I've copied this up to here, and then I've messed around probably with some, I've turned the crystallizer off. I've messed around probably with the settings on things. But I think most chiefly, I've changed the warping a bit. So it's not pitched up 26 semitones, I'm pretty sure. So let's just compare it over here. So we got, so it's not pitched up 11 semitones, sorry. And there's a little bit less on the preservation of the transients here. So now we've got this instead, which is sort of more gritty, I guess. And then it's obviously still following with this thing, which I've made louder because this is quieter, and then you still need to squash it through this soft clipper, right? So keep that crunch going. Again, these make an appearance again. And then the X factor is this operator, which is doing this like psytrance thing.
Oh.
Which is a really, I'm sure there's a lot more quicker and less clunky ways of doing it, but I basically added 2 and 4 harmonics. I'm automating this cutoff like this. It's got a bit of soft shaping on it, and I've transposed the ever-loving crap of it down again. Because if I turned it up like this...
Oh, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. There's lots of like really nice spots in it. I've put a reverb on it, which is I've split the signal and I've just given it some stereo width without losing any of the signal because it's quite a quiet signal. Added noise for excitement because if you look at guys like Peekaboo, they always put tons of high end on their like noise on their really like minimalistic basses to give it a bit more excitement and intrigue. Because if I get rid of it, sounds kind of sucky. Sine fold with the bass all the way up and a little bit of depth, and it's affecting the 30 hertz. That is it without like that. Literally, that saturator is what's making this noise. That's just the freaking noise, like by itself. But then when you smash it, it has something to it.
There's so many cool tones in this rack, though. You should just make a sample pack, just slightly change one parameter, render, change one again, and then
I have another track that exclusively uses operator and that particular sort of technique. I might have to like when I get that track out, I'll break it down sometime because it's again like one of those just like throw caution to the wind. I just want to flex stupid sound design for the sake of stupid sound design. OTT to bring it up, sort of taming the high ends as well. I'm pretty sure I adjusted the above as well, so all that high end that's above is like getting pushed back down again, so it's basically being limited. Auto pan for some extra rhythm, because if you get rid of it, it's actually kind of a mess. And then it actually, like, interestingly adds these like these little grace notes kind of thing. It's almost like if someone like does the little jump off the keyboard with their hands. Compression, pretty straightforward. EQ, it's actually a normal looking EQ. Spectral shaping, excitement, and then soft clipping again, and then in context. It really adds to it. We've got more of these noises again. This is the exact same noise as this one over here. It's just I have mucked around with it some. So like if you look over here, we have pitch bend on the warping mode. So, and then if I was just to like shift, it sounds really cool. And if I shift it like this, nah. I mean, like it still sounds pretty cool, and like I'm sure by definition that is actually disgusting, like digital artifacts that like you would want to avoid. But I kind of like it, for whatever reason. That's just how my brain works. So back over here. Yep, same. This little fill here is literally just like messing with the warping again. So, and then just it's on 16ths instead. So because if you did this, that sounds cool. You know, you get some like neat little textures, but I wanted to sort of like contrast, like because we're always doing these 30-second rhythms. I wanted to like add some tension by doing something that's half the time. So yeah, back to here again. I have messed with the phase modulation on this sustain thing again. So it's more like a bird whistling. There's also a vocal chant in here that has been going on these B sections, and they are panning quite dramatically just to give like some sort of like really subtle movement. I'm hoping you all heard that quite okay. It's very quiet in the back there. Yeah, that's pretty much the drops sorted. I mean, the pitch drop comes in about here as well. Like it finally has a use. But also it wasn't on, so you would have it like this instead. Yeah. I'll move on to this intro section, which I'm pretty sure I did start with the intro this time around. I'm trying to remember. Cool little noise I made. Froze it, flattened it. Just very atmospheric. I finally got Contact this year.
Nice.
It has some crazy drones in it that like evolve over time and everything. I've got some stuff with labs that's also playing.
Is that just the free Project Sam library?
Yep.
Fuck.
Yep, no, all of these orchestral libraries are free that I'm using.
Natural Forces has good drones in it, DREER.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. Well, I'll have to check that out. I'm always
Really
looking
good.
out for
A
that
bunch
stuff.
of them too.
Yeah, I really like... Yeah, right. I actually just recently also got the BBC Labs orchestra set as well.
Good.
So just some extra like spooky horror stuff. I think I just finished watching The Ritual as well on Netflix, which might have also played a bit into this. Here's another noise.
I take it The Ritual is some spooky cult shit.
It's like these 4 like English lads go hiking in Sweden and then they go into a cursed forest.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, there's this like drone here.
And then from the forest came the sounds of the swamp.
Yeah, and then it was just me there on Ableton being like, what? Yeah, so we got this drone here which sounds like a guitar that's like just bending the ever-loving crap out of the string. It's just drones on drones. And like, I love how internally, when you just hold the note, it has these like little string little movements in it, like these little gestures.
So when you've got so many drones interacting with each other, how do you make sure that they don't run into each other? Because it must be hard occupying the same airspace.
Yeah. Mid-side EQ and left-right EQ are your best friends, pretty much. So like with this one, like this one has all the low end, right?
Yeah.
This up here obviously is just really high strings because I knew that, oh, okay, there's all this low stuff going on. I need to contrast it with something in the upper end. So that's where
God, that's so good.
I'm pitch bending it with a frequency shifter as well to give it this really like uncanny sort of vibe with the reverb. So like, you know, that I'm like, okay, cool. Well, the high end's more or less starting to get covered now. And then with this drone, I wanted some extra texture because if you just have these two playing by themselves, yeah, it gets the job done, but there's like, I don't know, it just feels a bit static. So that's where this one comes in because it has that like little movement in it. And it's like literally just occupying those like high mids. So it's like sticking like Lego blocks together, I guess, or like building a little puzzle. Where like, I guess like if you were to order them in terms of like frequency content, you would have this one at the bottom like that. And then you would have this one in the middle and then this one on the top. So you think about it like that, I suppose. We have this little noise here as well. I can't remember how it might have been like a noise in Isotope Iris that I found, but it also could have been anything. I couldn't tell you. We have also this cool noise here.
I'm going to steal your entire sample.
This is really cool. It has an auto pan that is getting slower and slower, so like it's sort of spinning around your head and then becoming more mono as it gets more intense.
I love this.
It was a noise in Vital, apparently, according to this.
Night trick that I will use.
Yeah, no, that's
pan.
Yeah, that's a great. So, like, usually, if you were making, like, say, like those, neurobases that go like whoop, 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 you would do this kind of technique, but you wouldn't have the phase here.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. What else? Yeah, this pluck here. Let's see what it is. Oh, yeah, it's another. It might even be the same Vital noise as this. It's just been pitched around and mangled. My favorite tape echo at the moment is literally Ableton's. I'm doing. I don't know why I picked mid-side. Maybe I was trying to be a hipster. That plus like an even bigger delay on top of it. EQing. Realm is one of my favorite reverbs as well. It's a very nice lush reverb from Native Instruments, which I think is also free. So
Yeah, I heard Space Prince uses that a lot.
yeah, I remember. And the Whittler uses it. The Whittler uses it too. That's also what sort of like clued me into it. I also just like how simple it is. Like you can cut your low end like that. You can like shape your high end like that. It has like 3 different modes. Like I don't know. It's really nice and really lush, and it's free. So
it changes colors when you change the modes. That's it. I'm sold.
Exactly. Here's a vocal chop that I made. I guess it might be from like a horror impact thing. But I use it a lot. I remember this particular freeze, I think might have been from like an attempted mega collab I tried doing with friends. That's how well I know this. It's got like this chopped little thing just to make it cool. This is from a, this noise here is, this is from Ableton like sample packs you can just download from the website. So
really?
like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, no, like there's so much stuff that's slept on from the Ableton website from producers.
Holy shit.
It's really high quality and it's free, like when you buy Ableton. So why not, right? So we'll get to this low res. This low res, Ableton preset as well. Like it's this one right here.
Let me hear it.
On the Skitter and Step pack. So here we go.
Skit and Step is such a good pack.
It is.
I use it all the time. Also, Glitch and Wash is really cool.
Absolutely. Chop and Swing's also nice. And there's also one that's actually like for like sort of, I guess, like dubby sounds. It might be Chop and Swing actually, but like you can get like Skitter and Step. Sorry, yeah, it's Skitter and Step that does that. But
I only use presets that have an and in the middle.
Yeah, you get 2 things. You get Skitter and Step.
Whoa.
By the way, ROM I just checked. It's like $50.
Oh, what the frick? Okay,
it's basically free, dude. It's basically free.
It was free when I got it. I think they gave it out for like Christmas or something. Like they gave it for free at some point. Yeah. So yeah, low res.
Can I hear the res without processing real quick?
Yeah, I will take all the processing off it. Boopity boop boop boop. But like, notice that like I'm not doing. Everything is very incremental and logical in my work here.
Except your EQs.
Yeah, it's just the EQs. This is the noise, and then with all my processing.
God damn.
So what you do is you put another Seinfeld on it.
Very logical. Plus 22.
I think like the thing we've learned today is not how to make a sound, but how to process a sound.
Yep, absolutely. And
processing is like big.
Yep, big. So yeah, what you do is like if I got rid of, so I'm gonna like just go through every single thing. So this is it with the saturator just by itself. Sound's already there, right? Adds some nice noise to it, some nice saturation. I've got a little envelope here that's just sort of like opening and closing at different parts of phrases. So, and then when I want it to be more aggressive, that's basically how you can do like deep dubstep sound design as well. You just find a respace and just automate the cutoff of a low pass filter and just try to find like some cool phrasing within that. An EQ here, just to take some of the, scoop the low mids out to make room for other elements like the snare fundamental and the kick. It also actually like makes the stereo field a bit more centered as well because there's a lot of stereo in the mids, which is sometimes not ideal. Erosion with some noise. Pretty self-explanatory. OTT, probably to tame the lows. Make them a bit more consistently the same volume. And also to mess with the mids. We've got another EQ, which is pretty actually reasonable. So I've cut the sides out and I've ducked the mids a bit, again, just to like make room for snare fundamentals and whatnot. Makes it more focused. Pro Q3, which is probably doing the same thing. Let's have a look. Yep, it's just cutting the sides out. MB, which I'm guessing is also just, taming the lows and the low mids. Because like you really just want like a clean sub in your like dark Reeses, because that's going to operate as like the sub bass as well. We got a limiter. I think this was just like a little like safety in case it like pokes its head up past like 0. And a delay, which is being automated to fade out at the end here. Which is like very, if I try like exacerbating it.
Oh.
Yeah, just to catch it on its way out. And that's the Reese. And then like, again, it's just bringing back elements from the start here in these first 8 bars. I guess the inspiration for this intro was also Uncontrollable by Effin. Was it Uncontrollable or Unsomething? The one where it's like over and over and over again. And it's like his like deep tune that he made. It's that song. Cool. I think it's called Uncomfortable actually, but it doesn't really matter. Bringing back the elements. The other thing that is introduced that is new is this like deep dubstep instrument rack I made. So it's just, I believe, just sine waves.
Swamp Frog.
It's pretty straightforward because deep dubstep wobbles are just very basic sound design, which is fine, but it sort of works here. The other thing I would also mention, which isn't really a sound design thing, it's more of like an arrangement thing, would be the percussion that's going on here, because there is lots of crazy percussion going on all over here. Like this is just the perk by itself.
You may have never made DNB, but I think you'll do fine based on this percussion work.
Yeah. People are telling me about like halftime and stuff like that. I'll get around to it. I really like this section here.
Fuck yeah.
Some of these I think might be... No, this is VR. This one is definitely from like an Ableton pack. This Zap.
I think I know that one.
Yeah, I think I know that Zap. And then we've also got like this thing too, which is just a thing I found. But what you do is you just like mess with the warping again, because if I just turn the transients up and also like just a lot. That's good, but like, you know what? It's probably not even doing much, but I guess in my head I thought it did. Over here we have this virtual ride mode step one, but I've like stretched it and kept warping.
I love the drag it has with the stretching now.
Yeah. Because normally it would just be, which is cool, but like it's not as interesting. And then we've got like this clap over here, which is very organic. Because if you look at Future Garage, like Burial uses very organic like clicks and snaps and whatnot. So I've laid up this many clicks and snaps. And yeah, the syncopation is very satisfying. And then literally similar kind of trick in the breakdown over here. Just I changed the rhythm up a bit instead. So like it feels a bit more trappy than Future Garagey. Which I think you can just put it down to it doesn't use as much drums, I think. Yeah, it doesn't use as much kick drums to give that like backbeat kind of vibe to it. But that's basically, I guess, like the last thing I would talk about in terms of sound design is also using water trickles as like a way to fill out the space in like a drum section. Because then without it, it's just...
God, that's actually huge.
Yeah, actually, yeah, one last thing with my sound design is also New York compression.
New York.
Which is just like super smashing like a little band like this through a compressor, and you would like send it to your drums very subtly. So like this is my kick with the New York compression. And then when you get rid of it, it's nice, but like this adds like a bit of clickiness to the transient. It gives it like the boominess a bit more something.
Do you want to just solo the New York return so people can hear exactly what it's doing?
Yeah. Oh, my snares are also going to it. It's like garlic. You have to like add a little bit, otherwise it's going to overpower the entire mix of your spaghetti. So yeah, that's this project.
Juice.
Yeah. That's basically this track. Any questions?
Yeah, do you guys have any questions?
It's pretty straightforward. It's a fun track.
Yeah, I think you pretty much covered.
That is straightforward on a project that has like 3 reverbs in one track.
This is true. Yeah, on a project that has, let's see, 132
Jesus Christ.
tracks. And most of them are like risers and shit. I'm pretty sure like the drop itself uses maybe like 40 to 50. 2. Yeah, 2.
Like 40 to 50 is like what I usually use on a whole project.
Yeah.
So
I lean more towards 70.
Yeah, it's always in like that. That's basically my like B section drop.
All right. I have one question.
Yeah, go for it.
What is the best Foley sample pack in your opinion? What do you recommend?
Mr. Bills are quite fun. Yeah, and well, actually, now that you mention it, I got myself a Zoom mic, so like I'm probably gonna make my own Foley pack. So
what's that?
It's a Zoom mic. Hang on. This is like totally. I don't know if this is what you're expecting, but it's a field recording mic that I bought off one of my friends. So I can go out and get my own. I can go out and get my own Foley recordings if I want. But yeah, Mr. Bill's ones I enjoy. Hey.
Sorry, continue, Trio.
Oh no, that's literally all I was saying. Was like I'm going to record my own noises.
You can even record like vocals and instruments into those, and they actually sound pretty decent. Like, not that great.
Like they record up to like 96K at 32.
Yeah, they're fucking crazy. So do you get like the Is it the?
It's the H6 Zoom field recording mic that I bought off of Scribe.
Fuck yeah!
As the
How
new
much is
head around. He bought it for 500 Australian dollars. I bought it off him for 300 Australian dollars. But it's really good. It's really good though. You will not need another like field recording mic ever, unless you want to be crazy.
Yeah.
But
I didn't need one in the first place, but
but
I was like, would be nice to have. $500 is a bit much. I will you for 100.
You can get like a $100 one, which is like the model down from the one I have. I'm just like looking at Foley as well, just to see what like Foley packs I would use. Yeah, I wouldn't even know. Like, there's this one from Venus Theory, which is free. Where it's like coffee machines. What else? I got some from like when I was at university from friends. I got all these Mr. Bell ones. Dude, where did people get these wind instruments from?
Oh my god.
Yeah, like it just looks like I've got lots of like Mr. Bill and Venus Theory samples and whatnot. So I guess those two would be my recommendation with Foley packs.
Sweet.
Is there anything else? Oh, sorry, I just remembered
not
one.
a wind instrument, it's brass, buddy.
You blow wind into it.
Trumpet, bro.
Okay. One last thing I'll mention is because I feel like there'll be someone who will ask, how do you sidechain? I use Chain Shaper. Chain Shaper is
good.
The big brain Neo becomes the one fucking red pill like sidechaining plugin that I am using. It has a little oscilloscope here. It has up to 6 channels of things that you can individually sidechain.
Wow.
Whoops. It has a multi-band mode, so you can have your signal affect particular bands, not the entire spectrum, which means my kick is affecting the sub and a bit of the mids. My snare is affecting the mids and highs. And I think I have a third one as well, but I cannot remember. Whoops. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it's actually like amazing. Yeah, my garage kick. But like it's so nice. Like you can like see what the signal, like where your kick and snare and how they're interacting with the track is. It's really nice. So yeah, that's all that project. That's all that project sorted.
It is a good one. It's pretty much like a cheaper, easier to use version of Shaper Box.
Yeah, it's $30, I think. $30 or $20 or something like that.
That's $30 I don't have.
Well, I guess you can't use Chain Shaper then. But yeah, like, what now, Mr. Astroreign?
So yeah, unless anyone else has any further questions, we can move on to the feedback session.
Sick.
So yeah, if anyone has tracks for feedback, just either screen share or send me a private SoundCloud link, and we'll rip them apart. Nah.
All right. So I would screen share, but my computer would kill itself. I can't even play the project anymore. It's so laggy.
God.
But DREER and AddBack have already heard it. I've worked on the mixing a bit more and added stuff. Still pretty heavy, pretty muddy in my opinion, but
yeah,
like I said, it's kind of hard to work on it.
All right. I'm contemplating what, like, if I want to send another track, but it's very tempting.
Like for feedback?
Yeah, for feedback.
Oh yeah, that's cool. We've got half an hour. I mean, schedule wise, like,
true.
Yeah,
this is true. I might look around and see what is what. Please.
I can try streaming, but I don't know if my PC, better said, my internet will allow me to.
Yeah.
I can do.
Well, yeah. If you can't stream, then just a SoundCloud link is fine. And I know you're both in DREER's server, but for anyone watching, DREER also has a Discord server. So yeah, and it's a really welcoming community in DREER's server as well.
Yeah,
Very
we're gonna,
active too.
yeah, we're gonna try do stuff weekly, like production challenges and whatnot. But more or less, I'm going to be lurking in there pretty much every week.
I just realized again that this is being recorded and uploaded. I just made dumb faces all the fucking time.
Sucked in.
Every time you two play the instruments, I'll just replace them with some dumb sound.
Modern talking.
Oh god.
But yeah.
But in your DMs, Astroreign.
Oh sweet! I didn't get a notification for some reason.
No, I just opened Ableton and my computer's just dying already. Let's not do this.
It's scared. It's already been paying.
I was streaming DREER, then I was having my face cam on, then I'm installing something, and then I also open fucking Ableton.
Wow, you must really not like your computer.
No, my computer really does not like me. I mean, it's a fucking gaming laptop, and I can't play games.
Makes sense.
Incredible.
I have like an all-in-one potato from Walmart.
I mean, if you fucking have frame drops while playing League of Legends, your PC can just go to the bin.
Let me know if you guys can hear.
Can hear it. Yep.
Wait, Astroreign and me are in 5 mutual servers. How?
Yes, we can hear that though. It's all good.
Sweet. All right, let's have a listen.
Let's have a
listen. Country, that's the genre.
I was wondering how long it would take you to notice.
I love these symbols.
Cashmere sample pack, bud.
Do you have any plans to get like vocals on this or anything?
I would, but there's a problem of
not knowing.
I'm not very popular, and I don't know any vocalists.
Fair enough, because
I don't have any sort of auto tune.
Yeah, when it came to like this part, I was like really hoping something bigger was gonna happen, you know, and like I feel like vocals there would fit so well.
With like vocal chops work?
I suppose they could, yeah.
I could do that.
DREER vocals.
I feel like the strings are a bit overwhelming in this part. You're welcome, EXO. What's up?
Hi.
I think leading into this part, you might want to drop out some stuff just so it has a bit more of an impact. Even just automating a filter.
I already do have a filter going on.
Let me have a...
play the track through so then we can review it afterwards.
Okay.
Halcyon. I had to.
Jeez.
Jeez.
You mean SpongeBob?
It looks like SpongeBob.
It really does. Sorry.
Whole cheese.
Hell yeah.
Whole cheese.
That was beautiful.
It doesn't follow like the typical structure I'd expect, but it definitely still works in my opinion.
You know what it actually reminds me of?
What's
It reminds me of... Does everyone know Mighty S? Like M-I-T-I-S?
Oh, yeah.
It runs at his drum and bass. And like
It's only at 80 BPM.
Yeah. Well, I'm hearing it at like 170.
Yeah, it's perception.
Perception, everything. But like, yeah, it definitely. I really like it. It has that really cool like liquid drum and bass sort of vibe. I think the way like Astroreign said, yeah, like when you're doing those build-ups, you want to like cut your lows out as it goes, because then if there's still sub in the build-up and then there's sub in the drop, it doesn't feel like there's any movement or development in the track. And then it also builds tension. Another thing too is with those basses in the back, there is definitely a way to do it, and I would say find some reference tracks that do it in a very nice way. That's sort of also why I said Mitius or Mightius or whatever
to deal with.
Yeah. So unless you want to do like that sort of style where it does like chords and then the response is the basses and chords again and the response was the basses again, you can either do that kind of arrangement with like your drop, or you can do the one where like the chords are playing and the drops are sort of weaving in and out. They probably shouldn't be that short. They should probably be something like not neuro, but like re-spaces that like sort of weave in and out instead of sort of these like dubstep one shots, because they're too aggressive for like what the chords are doing.
Yeah,
like they contrast them, but they need to contrast them in a particular way of how they're phrased.
So are you saying that perhaps like a bass that's like always underlining, but then every now and then the filter kind of opens up so the bass takes the forefront?
Yeah. Like essentially you just want the bass to be a response to what your chords are saying, I guess. I can't think of anything else other than those two things.
I mean, I didn't listen the whole way, but I only heard the outro. I felt like the outro kind of consisted of the same stuff. You could have either halved it or had the first half of the outro have some other element, because it felt like we already knew what was going on and it might have dragged.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering. I could do.
Because like when I was listening, I felt that it was gonna end on that half, but it kept going. Maybe add some other strings or some other stuff to go on that first half of your outro, or bring something else in, some other melody focal point.
Another thing too is if you can't find vocals, there is no shame in going on Splice and seeing if there's any vocals that could fit.
True.
I don't have Splice.
Shit.
Imagine having money.
Freesound.org.
Freesound.org.
I'm not kidding. Sometimes you can find some good shit.
MP3.
I mean, low key though, if you go on Splice and find something you want, I'm sure there's like a million producers out there who will just like download it and send it to you. But you know, I didn't actually say that or anything.
I've hit my download limit this month. Sorry.
I like got gifted a Splice account with like 4,000 credits, and after
Jesus.
years,
Who needs 4,000 fucking samples?
yeah, I don't know. But like, if you go in Splice and you find anything for like one or a few things, you can just tell me and I'm downloading for you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, those strings are really nice too, and I think like Astroreign said, like thinning them out a little bit will make them a lot more like delicate and beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think I can just send you a few vocals I already have. Hold up.
Dang, boys collabing in real time.
Nah, dude, nah.
Dude, you won't collab with Joe Biden.
Wow.
I will, but me sending him presets from Splice is the collab. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, true. Okay, fair enough.
Pass me the stems, bro.
Yo, wait,
Nice.
You're lucky I have Discord Nitro this month.
Let's go.
This guy here saying he doesn't have money, but will get Discord Nitro.
I got it for free.
Oh no shit. Okay.
So I've got 3 tracks submitted by Advac, but I'll play the first one, and if anyone else if anyone else has any tracks, then I'll play that after the first Advac track. Otherwise, we'll just do all 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Cool, Vac.
What is it? Just people that are in the call?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Oh, it's just people in the call sending stuff. I thought it was just a list of. Okay.
Maybe in the future.
Feel
You can't
free to
see, but I'm
send
thumbs up as well right now.
What is this? Cover art. It's a freaking monkey.
Reject modernity. Return to monkey.
Monk.
It's a monkey, bro.
DREER, did you have a suggestion or something?
That's beauty.
Because I heard you say like maybe in the future something.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say maybe like in the future collect like tracks to do feedback on, and then since you're recording these sessions, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I kind of did like last minute say if you have anything, send them over, but
True.
it was very last minute, yeah.
Oh well. It's good fun. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. Whoa, that was the same time. Nice.
Every
Why
time I
do
look at
you
that
always
fucking
blue ball me?
monkey-
What?
Oh my god!
Why do you always blue ball me?
Why do
I
you
don't.
What every time I
Why
look
do you
at
always get your expectations that high?
that, every time I'm looking at that monkey, I keep laughing. Such a dumb.
Just a fucking stock monkey. I need it cover art.
My feedback for this track is that you've got too much low mid stuff going on.
I was gonna say
that-
they're clashing too much.
They're
and
clashing
it's
pretty hard,
confusing the
so-
flow.
that acid bass should probably occupy maybe a bit more mids. I'm pretty sure. I'm not really that familiar with acid basses and like how they sit, but I would assume that they would sit sort of like in the higher end of low mids to the mids, and then
I think I cut everything under 250 on that one.
okay,
I don't
maybe
know.
it also be, and this is where my next bit of feedback comes in, is that main bass sounds very like messy in that low mid area, so it sounds overpowering.
Okay.
I would say maybe like adjust the like sculpt it a bit more with filtering,
Yeah.
and then also like EQ it. And do you have a separate sub channel for it? Like for this track?
No,
You should make a separate
no, because like
channel.
the bass is like, I think, yeah, the bass is just very. It includes
What?
everything.
Yeah, okay. I would say though, like with that main bass, like definitely like cut out the subs in it and then create a sub bass track for it, so then you can actually get a clean mix.
Yeah.
Because of that. And also you can, then like do some really cool, like if you want to like play with the bass line, you can like have it do its own thing while the synth is still doing its other thing as well. And that's all I really have to say. I think there also might have been some sour notes there in the intro. I'm not sure if it was
Yeah.
that or not. Yeah.
So
In the in the synth,
Yeah.
you had
Yeah.
dissonance going on, so it doesn't
Really?
fit with the style of intro.
Yeah.
Okay.
It may not be out of key, but it's the dissonance
yeah,
that's messing with it.
I'll try find the part again.
It's like at around
This one.
28 or so.
Is it that one?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I guess just make sure that's in key.
Go around
Yeah.
26.
It's
actually.
it's all E minor. No, wait, it's E. Is it called Frasian?
Phrygian. Yeah.
Phrygian, yeah.
Yeah, that one. It's all in that.
So I guess it might be in key, but just in relation to the other notes that are playing at the time, it's
That's dissonance.
just yeah.
It's dissonance.
Okay.
Yep. Otherwise, not too much else that I can think of.
Normally, like on C major, it'd be C, B, and E, F. Those two would create dissonance together.
Yep. Because they're all
You
Okay.
can't see, but I have a keyboard.
Yes.
But yeah, totally
Let me
agree with
unplug it.
DREER about like separating the sub and stuff. Like, I think in general this tune just needs a bit more control frequency wise. Things just need a bit more taming. Some
Yeah.
things are poking out a bit too much, and yeah, especially like in the low mids, as he said.
And that's usually when most producers, when they start, get a bad mix is in those low mids, because it's really hard to like hit that balance of getting enough of your bass, but then making sure it melds with your drums as well, and then also like your subs there as well. So like you got to like somehow fit them together. It comes with experience.
And in the end, you EQ, like DREER EQs.
Yeah, and then you just
like
throw it all out the window at the end.
all right.
And yeah, also just to reiterate something that DREER said with the main bass, it just sounds a bit too sustained. Like mid-tempo generally has like quite a plucky sound to the basses, and I think that, as he said, filter automation on that would make it very much.
Because even if you did like
more
a
groovy.
low pass filter that just like shot down, so it'd be like boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 kind of thing. I
That's
guess.
exactly what I did, I think.
Maybe it's just
But
not
no
fast enough.
There is
Yeah,
no
okay,
shame in
right.
doing it again and like copying that filtering over to the end of your chain, because that's what I do a lot as well with my
True.
sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Um,
did all the thing like in Vital itself
Yep.
with the
Yeah.
And then one final thing, I'm just going to re-listen to make sure I actually agree with myself. Yeah. I feel like the tops, like the sustained synth here is still too present. Like, I would like to hear the focus be on the ARP and the bass when the section changes.
Okay,
but that
so
might.
like
Sorry.
just like make it more silent.
Yeah.
More, like in the back.
Either more in the background. Yeah, that would be great.
Bandpass filter in that main synth, because then it has that sort of like like that overdriven sort of like trancey kind of like filtering.
Yeah.
In it. That will actually help out a lot. And a lot of songs, when they're introducing synths in their build-ups, would usually probably use a bandpass filter, because it's taking a bit of the highs and a bit of the lows, but not too much of either. And it makes for a cleaner mix.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
Sweet. Alright, are you guys down to do one more track real quick?
We'll do one more, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, would you prefer Sector 11 or Ojidja?
No, do Sector 11, because I think I've already shown the other one to DREER. I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Alright.
This I got
Sector
help
11.
on our last show.
Look out for the echo fill.
Yeah.
watermark.
Quarantine. Please limit your contact with other personnel as much as possible. Have a safe and productive day.
Whoa, got very real towards the end there.
That has a lot of potential, that track. There's just like a few things. One, don't be afraid in your intro. So like one thing, I guess like that's also like a stylistic thing, but one thing in intros is people are afraid to like let the sub just like go for a little bit and then not be constantly playing in the back. I feel like you could go for more of an 8080 vibe with this instead of just like a sustained one.
Mhm.
But if you want to do the sustained one, I would say have it not just be a straight one, but be like eighth notes or quarter notes just to get a pulse established in your song.
Okay, yeah, that's...
And
One
everything
thing I
else
would
will sort of
say-
fall into place. Go on.
Was you need more melody switch ups because it gets repetitive by the second.
Yep.
More
Something to like elaborate on that
like,
idea.
not like a completely new melody, just kind of like a switch up, kind of like how I did Dreamtime in the last the first part of the outro. Just
Yeah.
change it up a bit.
Yeah. Another thing too is to again like in the build ups, breakdowns and build ups, no sub, or let your kick be the thing that like has the sub sort of thing. So then that builds the tension. And when your drop hits, again like sculpting the filtering of the main bass, so then it's a bit more stabby instead of like loose.
Yeah.
Because you can like create the looseness and swinginess of it with like the notes you play instead of like the sound itself. And with your sub in there, do less sub frequencies and more of like the overtones of it that you get from like saturating it. That creates that sort of like accuracy style like mixing spectrum in your sub.
Okay,
So-
yeah.
I thought during the intro, the drums were a little heavy for me, either too loud or just replace them with like softer sounding samples. They also kind of sound like they might need a bit more processing, like they sound a bit like straight stock out of a sample pack.
They aren't, actually.
Really?
Yeah, they aren't, actually. But...
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Another thing is also try not to put your drop drums in your intro, because that will like create also like a nice contrast of energy as well. Yeah.
And then the other main thing that hasn't been said yet is just the chords in the last drop. I felt like they were a bit mid-heavy and could use a bit more sparkle in the high end.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it for me.
So, like, bring out the high end with an EQ or something.
Yeah.
Either,
Fresh Air is really good for that. If I haven't shoved that down throat enough.
What did you mean?
Fresh Air.
that's like a plugin, right?
Yeah, it's free. It's from Slate Digital. It's really good.
Nice.
I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah. I just had to clarify because I know there's probably people listening to like, oh yeah, I'll get some fresh air on my track, mate, and that'll do it real well. But no, it's actually a plugin.
No, it is a plugin. The dialogue is annoying though.
Yes.
I
cool.
have
Excellent.
one thing.
Yep.
One thing. It's not really a track, it's more of a plugin I've been working on.
Ooh.
You're working on a plugin.
Yes.
Yo,
Let's
that's
go.
sick.
It's
Yeah,
only
me
for FL
too.
Studio.
Actually. Oh. I'm making a PC actually right now, but it's hard.
It's in
so much
Patcher,
work.
which is part of FL Studio.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tell me if it's my internet's too garbage to screen share.
Oh yeah, I'll
Shit, it
stop.
honestly probably
Yeah, well,
is.
I'm moving in with Steve Duda. We're going to be best friends.
Alright. Tell me how that is.
It's still just loading.
Yeah, hopefully,
stream.
hopefully your computer can handle it. Come on, baby.
Alright. So,
Oh, here we go.
Oh god. Why is everyone
Many red
spamming
lines.
dubstep in the Mega Collab channel?
yeah.
What?
Dubstep.
So, what this is
Yeah.
it takes the hertz of every single note. So, let me show a good picture. illustration. If
Key
this is
samurai.
C. Ugh. I have to go.
Alright.
Well, see you guys later. I'll show you to you later.
Alright, no worries. No worries,
Man
man.
just wanted to show us his steps.
My man just wanted to show his can't have shit in Detroit.
Alright, so I guess we're
Alright.
gonna wrap it up here then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you for having me. Goodbye.
it was a pleasure having you. It was a pleasure having all of you. It was nice meeting some new faces and catching up with DREER again. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching or listening, and this was the Wavetable special group chat episode. So if you're looking to join in on future group chat episodes, just join my Discord. The link will be in the description. And yeah, thanks again. Peace.
Bye.